Hi everybody, I want to introduce you to my office tank. I have another tank at home, but this one is my favorite. I get to see it. I'm at work all the time, so I get to see it all the time. So I wanted to give you some information about my tank, how long it's been running, and then in the future drop some updates and maybe reach out to my fellow reefing community for help on any of the issues I may be having. So I'm back into the hobby after getting out back in 2009. I've got a little bit bigger budget now. I'm going to take things a lot slower. This tank has been running since the middle of February 2017, so right about 6 months, or 7 months, I'm sorry, about 7 months to. It's running pretty good. This is a freshwater tank that I bought off Amazon. It's a Fluval Spec 3. I'm not using much of anything except for the actual glass container that was stock. I don't use the filtration equipment, including the return pump. I also replaced the stock LED, which was specific for freshwater, with this Kessel A80, and I run it using the controller from Kessel. Hit me up in the future if you want to know my schedule and the intensities that I use, but originally I had replaced the I never did use the stock one, but I did replace it with, I just used this lamp stand with an ABI Tuna Blue, the 12 watt par 38 bulb, and it did really good for a while. It was a little too much for this little 2.6 gallon tank. In the back I have the in-tank media basket in the overflow with a couple of pieces of filter floss and then a 100 micron filtering pad, and then below that is my polyfilter pad, and then some Biomax, and then the was it like a 5-ounce bag of Chemi Pure Blue, I think. And in the return section I have a pump. It is the Rio Plus 120 gallon per hour return pump, and a Cobalt Neotherm 25 watt heater that I run my tank at about 78 degrees. And on the return, the hose, I had to, you can see that the swirling effect, if I didn't cut holes, small holes in my return, that water would just be completely still. And for a while I did run it that way. I had to recently cut holes so that it would not be stagnant. Feeding wise, I feed Herbie, my Citron Clown Goby, periodically 3 times a week. I'm at my office Monday through Friday, and I'm not here at all on Saturdays and Sundays, so I feed him Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I just do the frozen brine shrimp for him, as well as for the rock flower anemones, reefroids for everybody else. And I do daily water changes. I just do a little bit Tuesdays and Thursdays, but Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays I do a thorough, probably 50% water changes, but every day I take a little bit out. Top off with fresh water first thing every morning. Very little evaporation because of this nice stock top. There's definitely some evaporation, but not really that much at all. I rarely test the parameters on this tank, but when I do, I use Aquarimate, the Aquarimate app on iOS to track just events that go on with the tank. What have I got in here? I've already introduced you to Herbie, or Herbert. That is a Citron Clown Goby. He's probably about an inch and a half, probably closer to 2 inch from snout to tail. I don't know what these zoas are, but or pallies or whatever. They have grown gangbusters. A little new baby there. I've got rock flower anemones that I love. They're probably my favorites. This guy here, for size reference, is approximately, probably close to 3.5 inches, and fully opened up like that. Same with this mama here. And then in the back I've got an orange one. She's probably about the same size. And then I've got this little baby. Got that little baby right there in the middle. He started out as a hitchhiker that when I purchased this green one and the yellow one, when they came in, this little guy was along with it, and he was the size of one of those pebbles. Very hard to see. Almost missed him. So he's growing in leaps and bounds. I've also got a couple of varieties of trumpet coral. I've got the or candy cane coral, I guess. This is Herbie's perch. He loves it right there. Just a green and pink. And then the kryptonite. These guys have split heads. Let's see. The one on the right was one head when I purchased him. I've got some cleanup crew. Got bumblebee snail and just a regular snail. There's another snail somewhere. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, life has not been perfect for this tank. I've had some ups and downs, had some things that I put in the tank and then took back out, and you know, I've got another tank at home. But this one really is the one that I get to see the most, and I enjoy it the most. But I appreciate you guys taking a look. Subscribe for future updates. I will reach out to my community. You guys are the best source of information. I will be reaching out to you guys if I have any questions, comments, concerns. But if you guys have any questions for me, leave a comment, and I will get back with you. Thanks.